Good evening. I'm Andy Kurtz. I'll be moderating tonight. I'm chair of the Humanities Department at BGSU Firelands. And on behalf of our sponsors, the Huron Chamber of Commerce and the Huron Public Library, I'd like to welcome you to this evening's candidate night. Tonight's forum is conducted under the guideline of the League of Women Voters. Candidates will begin with a 3-minute introduction, after which we'll have a minute each to respond to questions submitted by you all. We will conclude with 1-minute closing remarks. As I said before, there are the ladies are around with paper and pencil in hand, and you may submit questions even while the forum is going on. So just raise your hand and we'll get to you. So without further, please, and turn off your cell phones, or just at least check them. Thanks. So without further ado, because we have such a slate of large slate of candidates, we'll begin with an alphabetical order with Mr. Artino, who will give the first 3-minute introduction.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank you all for being here. I'd also like to thank the League of Women Voters, the Huron Public Library, and the Chamber for providing this venue. Great opportunity for the candidates and the citizens. But most of all, I'd like to thank you, the citizens. Not only did you elect me 4 years ago, but you stood by me when I had to make the tough decisions. And it's you that have made this a worthwhile experience. I've heard a lot of things said out there about the city, about council members, but let's be honest. The city is in a lot better shape.
Excuse me, Mr. Artino, I don't think that people can hear. Can you move the mic closer?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay. Well, forget everything I said before. All right. Does my time start? All right. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for being here tonight. I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters, the Huron Public Library, and the Chamber for providing this venue. It's a great opportunity for the candidates as well as the community. But most of all, I'd like to thank you, the voters, for electing me 4 years ago, and then you stuck with me for the last 4 years. You were there when I needed you. You were tough decisions, and you were there when I asked for your input. I'd like to talk just a second about the status of the city. We've heard a lot of stories out there about the status of the city. The city is actually in pretty good shape. I think you'll have to agree. It's obvious the city is in much better shape than most communities. But in all honesty, I'm going to attribute most of that to our city manager, our department heads, and their staff. These people work hard to do a good job for you, and I think they deserve most of that credit. I would in particular like to recognize the two chiefs, Chief Osterling and Chief LaJoy. These men stepped up not only at a time when, of need, but a time of controversy. And I think with their staff's help, these guys will move the safety department into a positive, effective, efficient way in delivering the services to this community. But these people can't do it alone. They need help, and they need help from the council. The council needs to provide a strategic plan with measurable goals and objectives. A strategic plan that has a balanced economic development process. That process has to be good for both the veteran community and the business community. No business, no organization has been successful without a good strategic plan. I have pushed for that, and I think you need to push for that as citizens. I have the skills and the experience to help make that happen. I'll have some flyers out back to explain that in more detail. Now, during the last 4 years, and just recently in my campaign material, I provided you with a lot of information, honest information. Not just honest information as seen by Sam Artino, but factual data that you can find in the city archived. And also that the information comes from third-party individuals, experts that you've hired.
Sam, that's with your extra time.
Thank you, I appreciate your vote.
I won't be that long. My name is Joel Bickley. I was born and raised in Huron. I went to school here. I retired in 1992 as a police officer. Probably the first thing you should know, and the ones who do know me, I am not a politically correct individual. I tell it the way I see it. There's disagreement with that, but I'm very truthful. I think one of the reasons I'm running for council is I feel, president council anyway, and they don't quite tell what's going on. There's some, I don't want to say hidden agendas, but there's some things that are hidden from the people. Prime example is I tried to get a copy of the budget yesterday, and it should be online, and it wasn't. I had to go buy a copy. It's not a question of buying it, it's just that should be something that people should be able to get to. I want the city to run or to move forward with jobs and businesses. There's some things with ConAgra that I would like to see, and there's things with the spoil site out here. There's things with the old Showboat property. These things need to be done, and they can be done, and be very useful to the city. We need revenue in the city. Sam's right. The city's in pretty good shape. I can't promise you absolutely anything because it takes all 7 people in council to go along. The present council has a little bit over us 4 that we aren't privy to everything they do. But they also started off not knowing anything about how the city worked. So all I can promise you is that I will be very open and honest, and if you ask me, I will tell you anything. If I'm elected, I'll tell you anything you want to know. And if you want to change my mind, that's good. So, thank you.